Yo, what is up everybody, it's Jay the Great here and welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today we have a brand new video with the great Swagkage, and as you can tell, the title of this is Naruto vs Sasuke at every point in the series. So folks, as we are all blatantly aware, early on in the narrative there is certainly a development of this arms race, if you will, between Naruto and Sasuke, where they are battling for superiority over the other, right? And throughout the narrative, we see these sorts of transitions in this arms race that take place, right? At the very beginning of the narrative, we see Sasuke deal with the Demon Brothers, while conversely Naruto is shocked and frozen in fear, giving him the upper hand in this arms race. Later on in the narrative, Naruto learns the Rasengan. Him and Sasuke nearly have a clash of Chidori and Rasengan, and through the damage of the water towers that are adjacent to them, we see him take first place currently in the arms race at that point in the narrative, right? So throughout the narrative, we see these transitions, and they're pretty interesting when you analyze and see who is the superior or who most likely is the superior at any point in time within the narrative. And with that, you can establish who is the superior combatant as well, right? So this video should be interesting. I'm sure Swag is going to explain the various transitions that take place, maybe even the more subtle ones that people will overlook at times, right? So I am very intrigued for this one. And I wonder if me and Swag might disagree on something. I'll certainly bring it up if that's the case. But Swag is very good at what he does, and I'm sure we're probably going to agree on most of the points that he brings up in this video. But before we begin, any love, really appreciate it. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications to stay updated with yours truly. And if you're new and you enjoy, man, you missed the kid, make sure to hit that sub button, because once you do, you become part of the family forever. Let's not waste any more time, screen. Let's see what Swag has to say about this one.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Swagkage here, and today I'm going to be revisiting an old topic from, it must have been like 6 years ago or something, but I'm not going to be alone. I brought my buddy Six with me. Say hi to everybody.
Six.
Hello.
So as you guys can no doubt tell from the title, this is going to be an analysis of who would win in a fight between Naruto and Sasuke at every point in the story. So generally, the rules for these fights are going to be that the version of Naruto we pick has to have a corresponding version of Sasuke that we pick as well. So we're not going to throw like Land of Waves Naruto up against Chunin exam Sasuke or anything like that, or vice versa, right? It is going to be at congruent parts of the story that we pick both versions of each character from. So it should be fairly simple and easy to understand. And it's also not like a team battle or anything like that either, just in case anybody's confused. It's one-on-one, just who would win at each given point. Now that that's out of the way, let's just go right ahead and get started. So the first section is the first arc. We're not going to do any academy stuff or whatever. We're going to start where the story begins with the Land of Waves.
Fair enough.
And Six and I both agree, and I think most of you guys will agree, that Sasuke takes this pretty handily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he beat the Demon Brothers to Chunin.
He annihilated the Demon Brothers.
Sorry, not to downplay. Not to downplay. But Naruto just frozen in fear. Clearly just not on
Bingo.
Sasuke's
Yep.
level. They do have good teamwork at this point, though.
Yes.
Right? Against Zabuza. But that's not correlating to an actual battle between the two. That's more so just making plans. Sasuke's definitely the better ninja, the stronger ninja. And I think that's just implied, right? Like,
yes.
Sasuke's the genius. He's got
the prodigy.
Naruto doesn't yet.
I mean, narratively, like the whole thing is that Naruto has to work his way up to Sasuke's level. Sasuke's a goalpost for him, and Naruto definitely doesn't surpass him here in the first arc. Obviously,
precisely.
Yeah. I mean, this is a little bit after the bell test, right? And it's like
in the bell test, Sasuke's performance was just like dwarfing Naruto's. There was no comparison whatsoever.
Kakashi's like, I can't read while I fight this guy.
Yeah, he actually had to fight Sasuke one-on-one.
Yeah. He was surprised at Sasuke's performance, too, like, aside from that.
Yes.
Like, he's like, again, he shouldn't be able to use fire style and whatnot. So, yeah. And that's another thing. Sasuke already knows nature transformations and whatnot. Naruto has no idea. He won't learn that until later on in Shippuden.
Yep, but Naruto
doesn't learn that until, like, the halfway point of the series. So, you know, Sasuke is just way ahead of him. They do seem to have pretty similar fundamentals, as shown by the fact that they both make it to the top of the tree in the tree climbing exercise at about the same time. But in terms of combat skill, arsenal, power, speed, all that. Sasuke is just superior in every relevant category. The only exception, or like asterisk I want to throw in here, is obviously if Naruto gets the same Nine Tails boost as he got against Haku. That version of Naruto just destroys Sasuke. It's not fair at all.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think that it's like, it would be weird to give this round to Naruto based on those merits, because there's no reason to assume that he would actually start using the Nine Tails chakra in a fight against Sasuke. The reason that came out when he was fighting Haku is because he thought Haku killed Sasuke and it was a rage emotion thing.
Yeah, there's just no way he would think Sasuke killed Sasuke and do the same thing. It's really like a super technicality that you just can't include. So it's like, yeah, he would beat him, but realistically, that's not going to happen.
So round one is going to go to Sasuke.
Yep.
The next section is the Forest of Death. And I'm not going to be talking about them base to base because that's not really interesting. I mean, they're still pretty similar to how they were in the Land of Waves. So if it's like at the start of the Forest of Death, Sasuke fights Naruto, Sasuke's probably going to win.
Agreed.
The more interesting conversation, and it requires me to fairly early on in the video break the rules I laid out at the beginning. But the more interesting conversation is Sasuke with the curse mark versus Naruto with the Nine Tails boost. Right? The Naruto that fought against
interesting battle indeed.
Damaged the snake versus the Sasuke that fought against the Sound Team, Dosu, Zaku, and Kin. Now, this one is a little bit harder to answer because neither of them have super direct scaling to one another. But
Agreed.
What I will say is that Sasuke's performance against Orochimaru with just his Sharingan was pretty similar to Naruto's performance against Orochimaru with the Nine Tails chakra. So if you were to give Sasuke the curse mark boost on top of that, he would probably win.
Yeah. I mean, 100%, bro. I mean, Sasuke with the curse mark, he outperformed Lee, even first gate weighted Lee. Throw that in there. Don't attack me. He outperformed first gate weighted Lee against the Sound Ninja. And Naruto got folded by him right in the beginning of the prelims, in beginning of the Forest of Death or whatever. So Sasuke is clearly just gonna take that round, and even if you throw in the Nine Tails amp, it's not gonna be that much. Orochimaru didn't even like flinch at Naruto using that, and then Sasuke, he did his little performance or whatever. You could say he's mental amp if you want to.
But he melted off Orochimaru's face.
Yeah. And Orochimaru chose him like right there. Like, yeah, this is the guy. So,
he basically says something to the effect of, oh, you're his brother, all right. He's already comparing Sasuke to Itachi and stuff. So he clearly sees something special in Sasuke before Sasuke gets the curse mark power boost. So there's just no world where Naruto wins this fight. In base or with either of their special power-ups. I just can't see it. I think that Sasuke wins categorically, no matter which version of the characters you use from the Forest of Death. So we're going to tally up another point for Sasuke on the board.
Yep.
Next up...
All right, so I do want to discuss that one, right? Because I do think there's an argument for Naruto. However, I do agree with the final conclusion from Swag and 6. I think empirically and rationally, it's more safe to conclude that Sasuke is the superior in the Forest of Death. Add on the arbitrary amp that the curse mark provides to the Sasuke that did fairly well against Orochimaru with a two-tone Sharingan, then he is most likely superior to the Naruto that was able to stop the snake of Orochimaru with the Nine Tails amp, right? But the argument for Naruto would be that the difference in caliber between the Sasuke that fought Orochimaru and the Naruto that stopped the snake is wider than Swag and 6 are giving Naruto credit for. Naruto stopped a large snake coming at him and Sasuke, right? That is very impressive. Orochimaru was certainly trying more in that altercation in comparison to the altercation with Sasuke, right? In both, he was testing them. He didn't have killer intent in either, of course. But based on the tools that he utilized against Naruto and Sasuke, it's easier to conclude that He was putting in more effort with the giant snake coming at Naruto and Sasuke in comparison to the effort that he put in against Sasuke when combating two Tomoe Sasuke specifically, right? Now, it's hard to quantify the effort that he puts in, but the fact that he brought out a large snake of very large proportions to try and deal with Naruto and Sasuke allows you to imply that it's possible Naruto is the stronger individual. Essentially, the proposition is that Naruto did perform better than Sasuke based off the arbitrary amount of effort that can be considered more in comparison to the amount of effort Orochimaru used to deal with Sasuke earlier on in that specific altercation, right? Again, I do agree with Swag and Six's premise overall, though I think there's more empirically for Sasuke being the superior. If you do compare the performances between Sasuke and Naruto against Orochimaru respectively, they are similar to some arbitrary extent, and on top of that, the arbitrary amplification that the curse mark provides, and it's very likely that Sasuke is superior to the specific iteration of Naruto in question. Right, so I do agree with Swag and Six, but I was just playing devil's advocate. Let's continue on, though.
Is the Chunin exam preliminaries. And Naruto finally gets his first W. But unfortunately, it's not like a fair one. The reason Naruto wins here isn't on his own merits. It's not because he got significantly stronger since the Forest of Death or anything, but it's because Sasuke is not in good shape during the Chunin exam preliminaries because the curse mark is messing with him badly. So
he also can't
Naruto
use his Sharingan at this point, right? I'm pretty sure he says he can't use his Sharingan at this point in the prelims.
Yeah, he can't use any ninjutsu at this point.
Yeah, so straight taijutsu Sasuke is not really doing it.
Yeah, he's handicapped.
We were given earlier, it was more so when Sasuke's using his super ninjutsu tricks and his Sharingan to get it over on Orochimaru. Especially base Sasuke drained of chakra, and the curse mark messing with him, putting him in physical pain, literal physical pain. Yeah, he's not getting it over on Naruto, who basically just has auto healing. So
now there is an argument to be made that if he manages to hit Naruto with the Lion's Barrage, he might win the fight. But I don't know if he'd bust that out like on Naruto specifically, because he didn't know the guy he was fighting, and he went all the way out. And the other thing too is, like Six said, Naruto has auto healing, so that might not put him down anyway.
Yeah, like he might get up after that and just be like, I'm not going down, and then just beat Sasuke up anyway.
Yeah,
but
so
either way, it's a point on the board for Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto is the more likely of the two to win the
Agreed.
fight here.
More likely
Next
for sure.
up, we have the Chunin exam finals. And so I will say here that I'm not going to do like a separate version of Naruto for, say, Neji fight Naruto and Gaara fight Naruto, because it's the same character. They're hours apart. There's no special training or anything like that. The only difference is mentality. But even then, the main difference between how Naruto performed in his fight against Neji and how Naruto performed in his fight against Gaara is that in one of those fights, he summoned a massive, like, Sannin level summon to help him fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if he does that against Sasuke and convinces Gamabunta to listen to him, then obviously he wins.
Clearly.
But
Yeah.
Gamabunta's not going to listen to him. It was a very, 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 very special set of circumstances that allowed Naruto to convince him to fight Gaara.
Yeah.
The main thing was that he accidentally summoned Gamakichi. Gamabunta wanted to protect Gamakichi, and Naruto had to point out that Gamakichi was there in the first place. Otherwise, Gamabunta would probably just leave the stadium, you know? And Naruto would have used all that chakra for nothing. Granted, the chakra probably wouldn't be a huge deal to him because he has a lot of it, but Gamabunta is a non-factor here. So
Agreed.
the real
Agree with that.
question is, could Naruto, with that Nine Tails amp from his fight against Neji, beat Sasuke? And I don't think so. No.
No, he's not winning. I mean, Man, I really don't want to talk about Sasuke versus Lee, but I think I'm gonna have to. Sasuke,
one of the oldest debates
he's, like, on
in
par
the,
with
in the
Lee
community.
speed. I
Yes.
think that's fair to say, right? I don't think I should get attacked for that. And Lee,
No, that much is stated.
yeah, Lee is faster than Neji. I think that's pretty clear too. So, I mean, Sasuke's faster than Naruto, and now he has Chidori, which Naruto just is not avoiding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, Naruto should have the capability of summoning Gamabunta, but like Swag said, that's just not going to help him here. Gamabunta's just not going to listen to him.
Yeah, he's not.
So, I mean, it's really like a Sasuke W, especially if Sasuke's at full power. Because, I mean, even in the Konoha Crush, like, forest portion of the fight, where Sasuke's losing to Gaara, it's just because he keeps spamming Chidoris at him. And if Sasuke happens to pull out the curse mark on Naruto like he did with Gaara, he's gonna tear him in half.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just another W on the board for Sasuke. So what is
it's just not fair for Naruto at all. Sasuke's just, I mean, he beats up Gaara without his Sharingan. You know, he's advanced so much in the time there was already a gap between him and Naruto. And Kakashi really maximized the time that he took to train Sasuke. So, like, I think that Naruto just... It's not as much of a blowout as, say, in the Land of Waves. I think if Naruto, like, taps into his Nine Tails power, he actually does give Sasuke a decent fight. But he definitely doesn't win under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Even if he makes a bunch of clones, and I mean, like, a bunch of clones... That probably won't help him either. It'll be like one of those scenes in the series where you have Naruto throw all his clones at somebody and they just like dodge them and pop them over and over. I mean, like Sasuke did when they fought on the hospital rooftop, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, like Six said, gonna mark this one up for Sasuke. Current score, 1 Naruto, 3 Sasuke. Next up, the search for Tsunade.
All right, so I definitely want to add to this one because that one is a fairly interesting one to analyze. So, Chunin again, Sasuke is superior to Neji, as much as the Neji fans hate to hear that. You know, Neji had a very shocked and concerned look on his face when he saw 4th Gate Lee and above, right? And Sasuke is stated as Gaara's strongest opponent, indicating that he's superior to 5th Gate Lee. Now, as far as speed, I think that there's a great argument, using a mathematical argument, more specifically a physics argument, that Sasuke is faster than even 5th Gate Lee with the Chidori. With the Chidori, I think there is a great argument that he is faster than 5th Gate Lee. And the argument is this. Force equals mass times acceleration, right? 5th Gate Lee, and Lee in general, utilized who knows how many punches against Gaara when combating him during the preliminary rounds, right? While conversely, Sasuke only needed 1 Chidori to get through Gaara's high-density sand dome defense. It took 1 Chidori, right? And again, force equals mass times acceleration, right? What's the difference between Rock Lee's punches and Sasuke's Chidori? The acceleration, right? Their mass isn't much different, right? The mass, Lee and Sasuke are about the same size, right? Maybe Sasuke is more muscular, a little wider, but the mass is very similar, right? They're both kids. The difference is the acceleration. That's what allowed him to penetrate Gaara's high-density sand dome defense, right? So there's a great argument that Sasuke, because of that, is faster than even 5th Gate's Rock Lee, right? With the Chidori. I'm not saying in base without Chidori. With the Chidori, there's a good argument, right? So essentially, if he were to combat Naruto, the one that fought Neji, the Chidori would speed blitz Naruto. If Neji is inferior in speed to 4th Gate Rock Lee and above, and Naruto is comparable with the Ninetales QB amp to that Neji, then simply put, he would get speed blitz and dealt with by Sasuke. Right? If we want to be pedantic, the Ninetales would probably try to save Naruto's life and give him even more chakra and the tides would turn. But for being specific, this specific iteration of Naruto would not suffice in dealing with Sasuke. Right? And on top of that, he has the curse mark. With the curse mark, he's even stronger, faster, more capable. There is much more empirically for Sasuke winning in this case. And is it impossible for Naruto to win? But it's a very minuscule chance that he does. In fact, it's statistically insignificant That's how unlikely it is that he wins. Let's continue on.
Tsunade arc.
Yep. Naruto gets a lot stronger here, and Sasuke is incapacitated. So, I mean, naturally, you know where this is going to go.
This one's clear.
I mean, the fight on the rooftop is just super indicative of how this fight would go.
Yeah, it basically
worse.
is this fight because Sasuke in that fight is pretty much exactly the same in terms of skill, strength, speed, all of that.
If anything, he's
as
stronger.
he is. Yeah, if anything, he's a little bit stronger as he was when he fought Itachi in the hotel. Yeah. And Naruto is pretty much exactly the same as well. So if you give Naruto from the end of the Tsunade arc, the Rasengan, and all that, like he's able to use it the same way he did on the hospital roof, then Naruto wins because even though they were pretty close, like they were relative in that fight.
Yeah, they were relative.
The end of the fight was where things changed, and it became evident that Naruto was gonna win.
He was superior
by a lot because his Rasengan was just gonna blow up Sasuke's Chidori. And I don't know what was going to happen to Sasuke, by the way, if that clash did happen. But it probably wouldn't have been good for him. So this is another one of those things where I kind of have to break the rules I set out in the beginning. And I have to take Naruto from the end of the arc and throw him up against Sasuke from the beginning of the arc. But there's not a whole lot of change that happens. Like, by the time Sasuke is incapacitated, Naruto's still pretty much the exact same as he was in the Chunin exam finals. So I think it's more interesting to take him from the end and Sasuke from the beginning. But the thing is, the series already answers that for us, right? Because we have their fight on the hospital roof, so we can just give this one to Naruto and move on to the next one.
Yeah. I mean, if you're still in denial, bro, like, after Sasuke saw the Rasengan and what it did to the water tank, he became evil. So, I mean,
he gained resentment after that.
It wasn't the exact last straw that made him leave the village. That was the Sound Ninja coming, but it was very close to the final straw that made him leave the village and pursue Orochimaru.
It implies inferiority, right?
Speaking
he was
of,
shocked by
the
it.
next fight is Naruto versus Sasuke from the Sasuke retrieval arc, and that fight happened. Sasuke won. So he can just give that one to Sasuke.
There's something I want to say about this one, because people bring up how Naruto, like at the end of the clash, he scratched Sasuke's headband instead of going for like a critical strike or something like that. I think that it's extremely disingenuous to say that Naruto would have won otherwise, because then you just take Naruto out of character. It's in Naruto's character to do something like that, because he's petty, and Sasuke said he couldn't put a scratch on his forehead. That's why he did it. So Sasuke would win if they fought again, because Naruto is stupid and petty, and he would do it again.
Yep, exactly.
If we're talking about in
also
character,
just be
I agree.
What do you want us to do? Look at like a fight that we actually see happen where Sasuke wins and give it to Naruto, just because of this.
You can't argue against empiricism, right?
Fight? Nah, no way. Can't do it. Sorry,
fair,
boss.
Bro.
So, current score at the end of part 1 is 4 for Sasuke, 2 for Naruto. Not looking good for our pal Naruto.
Yep.
And it's not going to get better
in the next round.
Yeah,
for a while.
Not for a while, actually. Next round is Kazekage Rescue.
Jesus, man.
This is a slaughter.
Naruto just can't win. He can't win this one at all. Like the last one, it's like, oh yeah, maybe you had a little bit of argument with the headband scratch thing. This one, Naruto cannot win. Nine Tails chakra gets taken out of the equation because Sasuke now can enter Naruto's mind and stop Kurama from giving him chakra. So none of that's happening. And then we see Sasuke with his Sharingan off, speed blitz Naruto at the end of the
literally without even the Sharingan activated.
Naruto and Kazekage rescue. They think Sasuke is so strong here without his curse mark on even that he is on drugs to get stronger.
Yep, I think he's roided, juiced.
I think that's Tsunade's assessment as well, isn't it?
Tsunade
yeah, she's the one that says it.
The medic ninja experts, that they think Sasuke is on drugs to get stronger. Naruto cannot win.
He stands no chance whatsoever.
Not at all.
Naruto gets bodied here. It's just bad, right? Like, and I know that I have, the thing is, oh, he's the Uchiha guy. He likes saying that Uchiha win in versus battles.
Yeah, this one's obvious.
Like,
So, I mean, come on.
there's no way, man, because they fought in the next arc, and Naruto had backup from a whole team, and the whole team got wiped out. He had Sakura, Sai, and Yamato all there, and none of these guys are chumps, by the way. Okay, just so we're clear. Yamato and Sai have Anbu, like, foundation ties, so they're super elite Jonin. Sakura in the previous arc fought against a member of the Akatsuki and did a pretty good job. And Sasuke just invalidates all of them, Naruto included. So that also brings us to the next arc, or the next fight, which is Tenchi Bridge arc. Now, if they fight base to base, exactly what we just said will happen. Is going to happen.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think it's more interesting if we say, well, what if Four-Tail Naruto fought against
That's an interesting
Curse Mark
one.
Sasuke?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, Sasuke can just suppress the Nine Tails. So this probably isn't going to happen.
Agreed.
But if you do assume that Naruto goes full Four Tails to fight Sasuke, which I don't think is in character, maybe he has a chance.
Yeah.
However, Orochimaru looked at Three-Tail Naruto. And by the way, Three Tails is, I think, the most I can see Naruto using if he were to fight Sasuke in the hideout. But, like, he looked at Three-Tail Naruto and said, you're not even in the same league as Sasuke.
Correct.
That's insane. And it's unclear if he was talking about Curse Mark or base, too.
Yeah, it is unclear.
I mean,
Yep.
like, Naruto, with all this power, dozens of times of an amp at this point, maybe upwards of 30 times of an amp, is not even in the same realm of power as Sasuke. So, I mean...
I
what
also
are we supposed
want
do?
to emphasize that part, not the, Sasuke's still stronger than you. Orochimaru said, you're not even in the same league.
Yep.
They are, like, Naruto is gold or platinum and Sasuke is diamond, right? Like, massive, massive gap.
Naruto
Like-
is S rank and Sasuke is Z rank.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. And that's a big deal, right? So that means that Naruto has to use the Four Tails to even stand a chance
Agreed.
against Sasuke. And, like, if you want to give it to Naruto, I guess, like, I can see why, because Four-Tail Naruto is really strong. Based on the statements that are there, it seems like Curse Mark 2 Sasuke might still win this fight. So,
I
don't
give
know.
Very
Sasuke
contentious.
just because of Genjutsu and being able to suppress the Nine Tails.
yeah,
Like,
I
he
think
should be able
that's
to press it all
probably
down.
what would happen, is that if you say that Naruto starts the fight in Four Tails, Sasuke would probably just be able to suppress the Nine Tails the same way he did when they fought in the hideout. So you don't really even have to ask, is he stronger than Four-Tail Naruto anyway?
Yeah. So, another W on the board for Sasuke.
Next arc.
All right, I have to discuss that one. That one's one of the most debated topics in the entire fandom, rightfully so, right? So, Three-Tail Naruto does fail, right? That we can say safely. Orochimaru blatantly, explicitly states that he's not even in the same league as Sasuke, right? We don't know specifically which version of Sasuke he is referencing to, but at the bare minimum, we can say CM2 Sasuke, right? Full power Sasuke would defeat Three-Tail Naruto, right? Now, when it comes to Four-Tail Naruto and Sasuke, this is where things get interesting, and here's why, right? Sasuke didn't feel comfortable enough ambushing Orochimaru until Orochimaru was just moments away from death, right? He waited until his health deteriorated enough to the point where he almost was dead. And in fact, there's even an argument that Orochimaru still could have beaten him, right? He wasn't trying to kill Sasuke, he was trying to steal his body, right? So that he could host that body, to have the Sharingan and access to Uchiha, genetics, etc. Right? So there's an argument that Orochimaru was still superior to that Sasuke. There's an argument. I'm not saying that that's definitive in that, or that that's blatantly true, but there's an argument for it. Now, if you use that logical deduction, you can make an argument that Four-Tail Naruto is stronger than even CM2 Sasuke. Why? Because Orochimaru admits that he could die by the Four Tails by Four-tail Naruto's hand. He says, this chakra is so dense that he could even kill me, right? So once he goes from 3 to 4, he's not talking down on Naruto. He's surprised by what he's capable of. His Kusanagi sword can't pierce him. He starts to say, this guy's chakra is so dense that he could kill me. I need to go, right? So there's an argument that Four-tail Naruto could beat Sasuke, certainly. And keep in mind, this is a stronger Orochimaru than the one that fought Sasuke. He was, to some arbitrary level, less sick there than what he was on his deathbed, right? Clearly. On his deathbed, he could barely even move, let alone fight, right? This Orochimaru was still capable of combating Four-tail Naruto, right? So there's an argument that he is superior to CM2 Sasuke, right? That Four-tail Naruto is superior to CM2 Sasuke. And in fact, that's the argument that I sort of side with, right? That's the argument that I would utilize if I had to argue for either or. And on top of that, Sasuke later on admits the only reason I was able to kill Orochimaru was because he was that sick, right? Which further reinforces the proposition that I am presenting, right? So simply put, I do think Four-tail Naruto would defeat Sasuke. I know Swag and Six bring up the Genjutsu, but I don't think Sasuke would be fast enough to even activate it. I think at this point, Naruto's is in a different caliber. Maybe he's not leagues above, like Orochimaru said Sasuke was over Three-tail Naruto, but I do think there is a significant gap between the two. Can I establish or quantify that? No, but I think the qualitative analysis I just presented should allow me to deduce that somewhat safely. Is it contentious regardless? Yes, I do think it's contentious regardless. It's hard to quantify how sick Orochimaru is from point A to point B. Right? We can establish the proposition that he's sicker to some arbitrary extent, but we don't know how much sicker, how much weaker. What's the numerical value that represents how much weaker he is? We can't establish that. Right? That's inconclusive and unquantifiable. But there's an argument for Four-tail Naruto certainly winning. However, he wouldn't start in Four-tail. He probably wouldn't get to Four-tail. Sasuke would speed blitz him like he did in their previous encounter early on in the narrative, when he shuts down the Nine-Tails chakra, aiding Naruto. He shuts it down. He says, be gone. And at that point, Naruto has remotely no chance of winning, regardless. All right, but I wanted to present that argument and play devil's advocate. Let's continue.
Akatsuki suppression. Now, this one, it's basically stated that Sasuke is still superior to Naruto. And in fact, not only that, but Naruto still thinks that the version of Sasuke that he saw in the hideout is stronger than him after he got
Bingo.
Rasen.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So, just to be clear, by the way, for those of you who may have forgotten or whatever, the Akatsuki suppression arc is the Hidan and Kakazu and like Rasen Shuriken, Shikamaru stuff. Even with the Rasen Shuriken, Naruto still sees Sasuke as his superior. Kakashi notes that he's still mentally chasing after Sasuke. So the obvious narrative implication there is that Naruto hasn't caught up to Sasuke yet and is still trying really hard to, which, I mean, you know, for the purposes of this video means that Sasuke wins this round. It's pretty much the exact same thing as the previous 2 rounds. Like, he just got way stronger as a result of his training with Orochimaru than Naruto did
Substantially.
as a result of his training with Jiraiya. And he's still getting stronger because we see, it might be the next arc, but it's around this period in time that Sasuke is still undergoing training exercises with like Orochimaru's minions and stuff, fighting massive numbers of them, and
yes, it's right
going out of his way not to kill them. I don't think anything really changes here. It's still another win for Sasuke. I know, it's probably annoying, but it's like,
I mean, it's the truth.
Sasuke's just way stronger than Naruto in early Shippuden, you know? And Naruto does get quite a bit stronger over the course of Shippuden, but like it's not enough to bridge the gap until
I'm gonna just be serious,
arc.
bro. Before we talk about the pain arc, we haven't even talked about Kirin. Like,
yeah, that's true.
He would have been needed, to be honest. He would have needed
This isn't
Kirin.
like an ability he got in the like Itachi pursuit mission arc either. Like, this is something that he was just chilling with since the start of Shippuden.
Yep.
He threatened to use it against them when they showed up to Orochimaru's hideout, and Orochimaru had to stop them. So
yeah, I mean, Sasuke W. I mean, that's really all you can say.
Blatant that
But
he's
then we
just
get to the
superior.
pain arc.
Very, very
And
blatant.
then it's like Naruto is really strong here.
yeah.
Really strong.
So
Oh, really strong. Yep.
We're kind of skipping over Itachi fight Sasuke because that's not the version of Sasuke that exists at the same time as Pain Arc or like Sage Mode Naruto. So this fight is Sage Mode Naruto from the fight with Pain versus Taka Sasuke from the fight with B. And this is unfortunate for Sasuke because Sasuke is even weaker in the fight against B than he is like in the arc prior, because he doesn't have the slight boost from having Orochimaru absorbed anymore, and he doesn't have the curse mark. But his Mangekyo isn't developed enough to make up for the loss of those passive boosts. And I would just like to point out, by the way, that it's revealed in the Sasuke retrieval arc that even when he's not using it, the curse mark does provide Sasuke with a passive boost to his base stats.
Yep.
So losing it is a pretty big deal. Naruto just categorically, demonstrably beats Sasuke here. It's just a fact. I mean, like, Zetsu straight up tells him that there's no way Sasuke could beat him based on what he's seen of Sasuke.
Heals.
Yeah, that's after Sasuke heals from the B fight. So that's based off what Zetsu knows about Naruto and Sasuke's respective abilities. There's just, like, Sage Mode Naruto is too strong. Now, I want to specify Naruto is not stronger than Pain. He had a lot of help and a lot of
he's definitely not stronger than Pain.
Circumstances. Like, all the stars aligned, basically, for him in order to get that victory. But I think that Naruto did a lot better against Pain than Sasuke would have. And if Naruto busts out the 4 tails, or God forbid the 6 tails, it's just over.
Yeah, Sasuke's
he probably
done.
won't. All he really needs is Sage Mode, but you know, like there's just nothing Sasuke would be able to do. Amaterasu is strong, but I think that, like, I don't even think that it would come to that. I think that he would just lose to a punch or something before Amaterasu even, like, came up in the fight.
Right. I mean, Naruto also has expanding Rasen shurikens at this point, which Sasuke just cannot prepare himself for. Like, he can look at the Rasen shuriken, maybe dodge it, but he cannot prepare himself for an expansion of it. There's just no way that he can know that that's coming.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Naruto's got Frog Kata, where he can basically attack you without attacking you. Like, even if he misses the punch, you're still gonna get hit. There's so many things Naruto has aside from being stronger than Sasuke that virtually make it impossible for Sasuke to even pull out a W here if he starts cheesing the battle. So, I mean, it's really just in Naruto's favor.
Amaterasu is his
You
best
could throw
shot.
the
But
rest of Taka in there too if you wanted, and Naruto would still win.
And then we have the Kage Summit. Probably
This is the most interesting
part.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can go ahead and start us off with this.
So Sasuke gets massively stronger throughout the Kage Summit just due to hatred amps. We know that every time Sasuke Susanoo evolves, you might as well attribute it directly to a hatred amp. Especially in the fight with Danzo, we get Obito just telling us, you know, Sasuke's rage grew, his power grew, and now his body's adapting to that power whenever his Susanoo eventually gets his little arrow. And then it evolves for the final time against Kakashi whenever he's talking about how he doesn't like the Leaf Village or whatever. So Sasuke's descending further and further into madness, and that whole time he's descending in mental stability. He's just going up and up and up and up and up in power. So the Zetsu statement from before about Sasuke being weaker than Naruto is completely invalid at this point. Sasuke's completely eclipsed that older version of himself. Now, I think a very interesting comparison is whenever Sasuke talks about how his Susanoo is a more absolute defense than Gaara's. Because earlier, Gaara was just easily deflecting Sasuke's attacks, and his sand came in between Sasuke and the Raikage, and it stopped Amaterasu and the guillotine drop. So for Sasuke Susanoo to evolve to basically be able to tank the guillotine drop now is a pretty massive boost. And Sasuke, after this, he goes into the Kage Summit room. He stands on the roof. Cool as fuck, by the way, standing on the roof.
Oh, that scene is fire. Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
All-time great.
Mifune comes up, slashes at him. Now, I don't know how much everyone knows about Mifune, but Mifune is pretty cracked. He's pretty strong. At the maximum, you can maybe say Mifune is faster than Prime Hanzo, who may be around Pain's level, but I don't want to take it that far. I'm just saying Sasuke is reacting to Mifune and
Correct.
Casually, by the way.
Yes, casually. No Mangekyo, just put his sword out and blocked Mifune easily. And Mifune
Yeah, he looks
him
more
on it.
annoyed than anything.
Yeah. Mifune compliments him on it. Now, a lot of people try to downplay Sasuke within this room because he's like low on chakra at this point. But Inoki putting Sasuke in the Jintan Cube is nothing impressive. Sasuke's barely able to walk. He's like limping out of the room when it happens. Obviously, nothing's happened to Inoki, so he's at full power. Inoki mentions like, "Oh, I can't believe Deidara lost to a brat like you," or something like that. That's obviously not meant to be like a literal statement because Sasuke was already clearly superior to Deidara back when he was in Hebi. And he's much stronger at this point. And like I said, he's fatigued when he enters this room. So then you got Sasuke getting saved by Obito, and then finally when he comes into contact with Danzo, his power just reaches the absolute maximum. It's even stated in the data book like his anger is at the boiling point here. So it's like Sasuke is at his absolute strongest whenever he encounters Danzo. And then he gets weaker. He loses his Sharingan, he loses Susanoo and whatnot. Him and Naruto clash, Chidori to Rasengan. It's base Naruto, by the way. And then there's this statement, oh my god, where Naruto says that he needs the Nine Tails chakra in order to fight Sasuke. This statement has been taken out of context a lot. I think the context surrounding this statement more so implies that Naruto is talking about he needs to conquer hatred in order to fight Sasuke, especially due to his conversation with Team 7 and Hagoromo later on in the war arc, where he's essentially saying that he can't just beat Sasuke by being strong. He needs to overcome this hatred hurdle so he can end the cycle of hatred, because Naruto has two goals. He wants to save Sasuke and he wants to end the cycle of hatred. One has to come before the other, right? And that's saving Sasuke. So if he can conquer the Nine Tails, whose chakra and will is just a lump of hatred, then he can do that. Also, if you take this statement in its most literal form, which just isn't true, it's Naruto says he needs the Nine Tails chakra in order to fight Sasuke. Sasuke is not as strong as the entire Nine Tails at this point. We see that later on in the war whenever KCM 2 happens. He's not even as strong as that, right? So blind Sasuke is not as strong as KCM 2 Naruto or anything like that.
Of course not.
And then keep in mind when Naruto, what he's thinking of when he's saying this is blind Sasuke. So he just tied with blind Sasuke, Rasengan to Chidori. So he's already as strong as blind Sasuke. So it's clearly not meant to be interpreted as he needs KCM or anything like that. Especially considering, on top of that, KCM 1 and 2 aren't really things. We call those forms that so that we know what each other is talking about whenever we, mention the battle. In reality, that's all just QB chakra mode with Naruto using less and more than Nine Tails chakra. It's varying, right? So Naruto can't be saying, "Oh, I need KCM 1 to fight Sasuke." Hasn't happened yet. He doesn't even know if that's a thing. So it's just far more likely that that's what that statement is talking about. And I think with all the surrounding context, maybe this is at full power a Sasuke dub. I think Swag has a little bit of a different interpretation where he thinks Naruto wins, so I'll let him go over that. But I think that Sasuke, being able to react to the right kage and whatnot, would kind of put him over KCM Naruto, who I think is faster than Sage Mode Naruto, at least from this arc. But yeah, I'll let Swag talk now. I've been rambling forever.
No, you got it. I mean, that was good, right? It was good to lay all that out there. So, first of all, I would like to say I am on the same page. I agree that statement about Naruto, or like the statement that Naruto gives where he's like, yeah, I'm going to need to master the Nine Tails to fight him. It just doesn't make any sense for it to be a strict power statement because it's based off of blind Sasuke, like you said. And I don't even like the idea that blind Sasuke is stronger than Sage Mode Naruto, let alone as strong as KCM 2. That's stupid. So he's probably just saying that they're equal in base. So who you think wins comes down to whether you think Sage Mode is stronger than the Mangekyo amp at full power. And now, one thing I should say, too, is that it's not just that Sasuke is getting stronger because his Susanoo is developing further. The Mangekyo is passively buffing him, too, which is something that Karin points out at the beginning of the arc when she notes that his chakra is colder and more intense even than Curse Mark II. So Sasuke is getting a greater than Curse Mark II buff just from the Mangekyo existing, right, like at all. And that's at that point. By the end of the arc, his Susanoo is fully developed. His Mangekyo is thus like Six said. Obito points out that as his rage grows, so does his power. So this boost should be way, way, way beyond the scope of anything Curse Mark II could have offered to him at this point. So if you think that Sasuke would win at full power against Naruto here, I think that that's valid. It really just, like I said, it comes down to a question that doesn't have a conclusive answer, which is, do you think that Sage Mode is stronger than the boost that Sasuke is getting now? Because they are equal in base. That much is demonstrated. And I honestly don't know. I think I actually would lean towards Sasuke, but I think that Naruto is like really strong, especially based on his fight with Kurama, which happened shortly after this and after not a ton of training. Like, Naruto is slightly stronger in the fight against Kurama than in the 5 Kage Summit, but he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff, making loads and loads of shadow clones, the Sage Mode, Rasengan Mega Barrage, that exploding Rasen Shuriken that damaged Kurama. So there's a good argument that Naruto could beat Sasuke here, but I don't know. I think I'd probably just say this is a tie or inconclusive. If you put a gun to my head and made me pick, I might go with Sasuke, but if I'm allowed to use feats from Naruto versus Kurama, I might go with Naruto, so, like, I don't know. But, like, if you restrict the feats to strictly, like, 5 Kage Summit and prior, then I think that it's probably a Sasuke win, but I'm not super comfortable picking either one.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, that one's more so a tie. And then
yeah,
next
you can
is
just,
Mid-War.
no point for either one of them. If you guys want, just because we've been showing so much love to Sasuke, I can throw Naruto a markup on the board if you really want. You know, just for the sake of appeasing people. But I don't know if it's going to matter because of how many wins Sasuke has already racked up.
Yeah, quite a bit.
The next fight is in
All
the
right.
middle.
So this might be where I disagree with Swag and Six the most, right? So I'm playing devil's advocate once again, of course. Naruto says, I'll need the Kyuubi's chakra in order to beat Sasuke, right? I'll need the Kyuubi's chakra. Now, keep in mind, this is something Naruto is saying in character as well, right? What is his own arbitrary definition of beating Sasuke? It's causing Sasuke to submit and come back. That's his definition of beating Sasuke, right? And keep in mind, he is observing a blind Sasuke, right? That was able to stalemate his Rasengan with his own Chidori. So, I think there's more empirically to imply that Sasuke, at full power, would beat Naruto, even with Sage Mode. Because Naruto possesses Sage Mode, and yet he still goes out of his way to say, I need the Kyuubi's chakra in order to beat Sasuke. I think that statement holds a lot of weight, more so than Swag and Six are giving it credit for. I think that he needs Nine-Tail intervention to defeat Sasuke, even a blind Sasuke. So I think that full power Sasuke, the one that was reacting to the 4th Raikage, defeats this iteration of Naruto. Without Nine-Tail intervention, of course. A full power Sasuke, keep that in mind. A blind Sasuke, I have a harder time concluding that a blind Sasuke would beat Sage Mode Naruto. I have a hard time with that. But a full power one, I do believe defeats Naruto. Naruto would need Nine-Tail's intervention. Naruto's statement reinforces that premise. I don't think it's as close as they are claiming it to be. I think that the gap is somewhat clear between Naruto and full power 5 Kage Summon Sasuke. Honestly. I think that Naruto would fail to him. I think Naruto would fall. I do believe so. Sasuke has gotten significantly stronger here. And again, He's talking about a blind Sasuke currently, not full power 5 Kage summon Sasuke. That's the best presupposition we can come up with because that's who he's currently in front of. Not full power Sasuke, not the one fighting the Raikage, the blind one. That's the one he was observing when he made this statement. Right, so simply put, I do think 5 Kage summon Sasuke more than likely defeats Naruto in this instance. Let's continue on though.
Of the war, so it's basically as soon as Sasuke is able to fight again, which is when he gets the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and recovers from the surgery. So this would be Sasuke with Itachi's eyes and the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan versus Naruto having, I guess, mastered the Nine Tails Chakra as far as he's aware, but he hasn't really mastered it yet because he doesn't have KCM2. So this is basically KCM1 mid to early war Naruto versus EMS Sasuke. I think that Sasuke takes this because his performance is much more consistent with Naruto's performance later in the war, like when they're fighting Ten Tails Obito, or just the Ten Tails, for example. Sasuke seems to be able to keep pace with that KCM Naruto. And I'll talk more about KCM2 in the next round, but I think that it's safe to assume that that version of Naruto is stronger than the one from earlier in the war because he's been fighting a
Agreed.
lot. And I mean, now before anybody says, "Well, that the opposite should actually be true," Swag, because since he's been fighting, he should be fatigued. He gets his chakra back a lot, right? And fighting makes you stronger in Naruto. This much has been stated before. Many characters have gotten stronger just by fighting. It actually happens many times throughout the war. And if you want to think of it like this, an actual fight is basically just like a training exercise, but with real stakes. So doing all these fights against all these people with all these shadow clones spread all across the world should have made Naruto stronger, I think, in the time between when this fight would be happening and when Sasuke displayed relativity to Naruto later in the war. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Sasuke would win this fight. But what's your opinion?
Agree. No, I agree completely. Like, it's way more safe to say Sasuke would win than it would be to throw in all of the would-be and could-be's.
Yeah, early war Sasuke beats early Naruto.
Yeah,
Early war
is
Naruto.
way more
I agree.
And then there's other stuff too, like when Naruto fights against Itachi. And granted, you can say that, you know, this is because Naruto's fatigued because he just made all the clones, which is fair. But Naruto doesn't really seem to compare to Itachi, like, at all in this fight. Like, they start fighting and they seem kind of close. But then when Itachi breaks free and actually starts trying, he's the only one doing anything against Nagato, and he's actually pretty close in power to Nagato. Like, the two of them seem like fairly relative, whereas at least I'll say, just so Six doesn't get mad at me, different conversation though. They're at least relative in power, but like Nagato just eclipses Naruto and B. This much is demonstrated. Then later, Sasuke, while he's not as strong as Itachi when the two of them are fighting against Kabuto, he just seems like a way closer match for Itachi than Naruto was.
I agree with that.
They're doing team attacks and stuff. Sasuke's intercepting attacks directed at Itachi. You know, he's like hitting Kabuto. Like, he's actually helping Itachi, which is more than Naruto and B did against Nagato. So I think all signs point to Sasuke being superior at this point in the series.
Yeah, 100%. And then we get the late war.
So this is when Naruto has KCM2, and if you want to be really, really, really nice to Naruto, the very end of the war, KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto. Either version, though, Sasuke doesn't have a chance. He takes one look at KCM2, and it makes him mad.
Literally.
It does.
Like, he's like,
it does.
Naruto has this much chakra. Perfect
Yeah.
control over this much chakra.
So we don't even really need to talk about Sasuke getting mad at KCM2 because we have him directly compared to and equal to KCM1 Naruto, or Master KCM, whichever one you say. So Sasuke is just absolutely beneath KCM2 Naruto. So Naruto would smash him.
And if you
And
give
then
Naruto
Sage
KCM2
mode?
Sage mode, yeah, like, oh my god.
Like Sasuke had to get help from Naruto himself and Jugo to keep up with that version of Naruto.
And I think Naruto was still clearly superior to him, too. And this was also while Naruto was in the middle of sharing chakra.
That's a good point. He was
a bunch
sharing
of
tons.
people, by the way. Many members of the Allied Shinobi forces. And he was sharing enough chakra with, like, all of the Konoha 11 that they were getting their own KCM2 cloaks. So this was, like... I mean, like, he was doing a lot. He was giving people a lot, and he was still just leaps and bounds ahead of Sasuke. It's just not fair at all.
Sasuke loses terribly, and
This might be the worst one so far, actually. I
Yeah.
think this one is a bigger gap than Start of Shippuden is.
yeah,
Really?
And then you got Six Paths.
All right, so I want to discuss that one quickly. I don't know if it's a large, substantial gap between the two. I think the chakra reserves are preposterously different. Naruto has, clear and away, way more chakra than Sasuke could dream of, right, at this point in time. With KCM2 Sage Mode and aiding many Shinobi Alliance individuals at the same time, simultaneously, he clearly has the chakra reserve advantage. But I do think Sasuke throughout the war gets stronger as well, right? And I do think the gap isn't as large as they say. Regardless, I do think Naruto wins. The end of the war arc proves that, right? Even when they have 6 paths, he's still superior. And he doesn't have killer intent. All right, so there's that. So I do think the gap is closer, just to give Sasuke some credit. But then again, Swag and Sex made a good point. They said Naruto was aiding the entire alliance at the same time. He was fighting Jubito simultaneously while doing so, etc. So I do see KCM2 taking this one, more than likely, in the vast majority of instances. I don't think it's a stomp and that he's way above superior to Sasuke, but I do think he wins in the majority of instances. Let's continue on. I just wanted to give Sasuke some credit here.
But Naruto's still the clear winner here.
And Naruto is the clear.
Yeah, I mean, he won.
So, I mean, mainly from the Final Valley fight, because this is another fight that sort of just happened. Sasuke lost after having multiple advantages. And Naruto's holding back for one, right? And he's playing defensive most of the fight. And Sasuke calls him out for this. He's like, bro, are you only going to play defense? Like, you can't beat me by only playing defense. And Naruto mentions over and over again how this isn't how he wants him and Sasuke's fight to go. Like, he's like, this isn't my dream. Like, this isn't how I figured me and you would end the little squabbling or whatever. So Naruto's holding back, fending off Sasuke, and then wins in the end. After Sasuke absorbs all the chakra from the Biju, he just loses. So, I mean, yeah, it's just a Naruto dub.
I think that there's also a little bit of narrative subtext in the way that the scene is directed, too. It seems, and now maybe this is a stretch, Kishimoto, like, he has a history of doing this sort of thing. Like, a good example that's relevant for this video is when Team 7 first runs into Sasuke again. He's above them, and that the scene is framed that way to clearly convey to the viewer, without the need for any dialogue, that Sasuke is stronger than they are. So in the Final Valley fight, when they have their Rasengan and Chidori clash, they're not on even ground like they are the first time it happens, but instead Sasuke is falling and Naruto is going up. So in a literal sense, this means that Naruto has to fight against gravity, whereas Sasuke is being helped by gravity. But also, I think it's very easy to read into this and like infer that this is supposed to be Kishimoto saying that Naruto is fighting an uphill battle here, because Sasuke is fighting without restraint, but Naruto has the discipline and like also lacks the desire
to kill,
like necessary to want to kill Sasuke. So I think that everything just points to Naruto like being stronger here. A lot of people like to say, oh, Sasuke only said he lost because Naruto still wanted to fight at the end, even though they were in the same condition, blah, 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 blah. But Sasuke conceded. the fight did actually happen, and Sasuke said Naruto won. So I think that should be good
very
enough.
blatant.
But if you want to analyze it further than that, everything that Six said is valid, then plus what I said just to add on to it. I think that Kishimoto did it on purpose, right? Because he could have, and it would have been very easy to, just draw the exact same type of Rasengan and Chidori clash that they did before. Another thing, too, another advantage that Sasuke has is that he puts Enton in his Chidori. So it's like an amped Chidori that ties with Naruto's regular base Rasengan.
Correct.
So Sasuke had every advantage possible in this fight. And like I was saying, Kishimoto could have drawn it at a neutral angle where they were both clashing on an even playing field, but he chose, for some reason, to have Sasuke falling and Naruto going up. So I think that his goal here, I think that there had to be a reason for it, and I think that the reason was because he wanted to make it apparent that Naruto was the stronger of the two. There's also stuff from the fight with Kaguya, like Naruto just performs better regularly against her, but we don't really have to go into that because, like we said, Sasuke admitted defeat. So go ahead, throw one up on the board for Naruto.
Then we move on to the last. So the last is like the Boruto movie, where there's a novel and there's the last, right? It's not a novelization. So a novelization is when the movie gets turned into a novel. This is, the last had a novel that got turned into a movie. And in the last novel, when Sasuke shows up in order to break the meteor heading towards Konoha, it says that he is Kakashi's strongest student, meaning that he's stronger than Naruto, so he would beat Naruto. I mean, it's really that simple.
I mean, yeah,
if
it's
you want to talk
stated.
about the anime only, then we just kind of can't conclude on it.
This is the only piece of information we have about either of them and how they scale to one another. So I think that it's just safe to give it to Sasuke. And if you want to fight this statement, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, that is as concrete as possible. It's as close to saying Sasuke is stronger than Naruto without outright saying it. Because it's like there are 3 students of Kakashi. If Sasuke is the strongest, that means he's stronger than Naruto. It's not a broad category. So, if
simple.
you want, I guess you can chalk this up to a tie. Like, I wouldn't say that that's dumb. I think that that's valid. But the only information that we have about it from the original source material says that Sasuke was stronger. So I'm going to give it to him.
Then you got Boruto, Naruto, and Sasuke. This is unclear, and I feel like me or Swag, no matter which way we pick, we are going to get attacked. In reality, like I said, the fight is kind of just unclear. So you have the Boruto movie data book. They say Naruto and Sasuke are equals. That's not stated in the anime by any like official source, but it's an opinion that Orochimaru and Mitsuki both hold in the anime and manga. I'm pretty sure it's also in the novel as well, but just saying, in this era, it's stated that they're equal in every continuity. Just, the source varies. So if you don't want to take it, whatever. But with that being said, it sort of makes it difficult to determine who would win, because it's just like, would they just tie?
Yeah, they're almost blatantly
Naruto's
equivalent in
stronger,
power and capabilities.
and then we don't really get anything for that. So I'm saying this is a tie or inconclusive. You can pick whichever one you want to.
I agree.
Based
I agree.
on your favorite character, and I'm going to leave it at that. And
I agree, but I think that the series illustrates them as equals pretty regularly.
It certainly does.
I think that if there was a strength disparity, it would have been alluded to or said or something at some point, right? Like, we would have one source that just straight up confirms Naruto or Sasuke's superiority. But we don't really. If it existed, we would tell you about it and we'd be like, this person wins, but we don't. So I think that it's just like, it depends on what kind of day they're having type of thing, Like, If Naruto wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, he might lose. If Sasuke doesn't get enough sleep and eats no breakfast or something, then he might lose, right? It really just depends. So I'm going to mark this as a tie. Then we have, maybe this is like a bonus or like supplementary category, I don't know. But it's Boruto era post nerfs, because and maybe I shouldn't have put this on the list just because of the answer. But wait, go ahead.
But before that, Boriyama Naruto would beat the dog shit out of Sasuke.
Of course.
Yeah, that obviously, you know, it's not even a category here. You know, if you want to give a point to Naruto for that, sure. Because, you know, I said this kind of earlier in the video, but I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. But, like, post-nerfs, I don't know. Do you think Sage Mode is stronger than Sasuke's one Mangekyo Sharingan? Then I guess Naruto wins. Do you think that Sasuke's Genjutsu is too much for Naruto?
I think that it's implied that they're relative, regardless. That's my opinion.
There are a lot of arguments you can make for both parties, but neither of them have been shown fighting one another yet. And since at the time of this video's release, we're pretty much right at the time skip, I don't think that we're going to get any proof of who's stronger. So this is probably, like the last one, just going to stay a tie forever.
Well, I think we will see that Sasuke is stronger because Naruto is sealed away right now.
Yeah.
And Sasuke is training with Boruto. And like Swagkage said, the time skip is about to happen. So we're about to see Sasuke after the time skip. Maybe he's gotten stronger. So maybe we'll see that confirmation.
Possibly.
Now,
Naruto sealed.
And we don't know.
Frozen in time.
So the final score for everybody: Sasuke has Land of Waves, Forest of Death, Chunin Exam Finals, Sasuke Retrieval, Kazekage Rescue, Tenchi Bridge, Akatsuki Suppression, Mid-War, and the last.
And Kage Summit, if you want to throw that in there. Because we said that was a tie. And then, you know, you could also talk about Boruto and the post-nerfs, because we said that was a tie too, and you can choose if you want. So if you include those, it's 12. But if you don't, it's 9 for Sasuke.
Then Naruto has the Chunin Exam Preliminaries, Search for Tsunade, Pain Arc, Late War, and 6 pads.
And then if you include the tie rounds, he has 8. Without them, he has 5.
So Sasuke wins more than he loses here. Even if you give every tiebreaker to Naruto, Sasuke still comes out on top.
He sure does.
This was not done on purpose. None of these arguments were
This is the narrative.
And none of these categories were inserted disingenuously either. Even if you give all of the ties to Naruto and still, like, for some reason insert Baryon mode in there as well, just as like a bonus win condition for him, then they still only like tie. And that is the most generous interpretation of the entire series possible for Naruto, with like an added basically like free space for him. So it wasn't on purpose, you know.
It was.
Neither of us went into this with the intent of making Sasuke win the little mini game here, I guess. But you know,
if you want to
just how the cookie crumbles.
The two Uchiha boys, you know, we definitely didn't make the video to say Sasuke won. 100%. It just happened to come down this way with the specific rounds that we chose for the video.
Well, what other rounds would you introduce where Naruto wins?
I mean, you know, it's just how it went down. So,
but anyway, if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to
Great video, guys.
Well.
Great video as well.
To his channel down in the description. He uploads a lot of Naruto content, more frequently than I do, actually. So if you're hungry for, you know, the sort of stuff that you saw us discussing here, head on over to his channel and you won't be disappointed.
Great videos always,
but,
folks.
also,
great videos always.
Let both of us know, do you disagree with us on any of these? Who do you think would win in, say, the Chunin Exam Finals? You think Naruto could tough it out? The Kage Summit is the one that I'm most interested in hearing from you guys about, though. I want to know you guys' opinion on that. But if you do give a differing opinion, don't just say, oh, blank would win this. Show your work. Tell me why. I wanna be introduced to new perspectives.
Because, I mean, that was definitely the longest portion of the video. And when we were talking about it, that's the one we got hung up on.
The tough
Literally
one. It's a tough one.
Where we were like, well, I guess we got hung up on some of the stuff.
It's ambiguous.
But it got solved in like 5 minutes. That
Yeah.
one was like an hour-long conversation, maybe longer. So I'm definitely interested to hear how people would take that otherwise. And maybe, maybe we didn't bring something up that you thought was super important.
Yeah.
Right?
It is a 700 chapter series, more including the Boruto stuff that we talked about. So we may have let some stuff fly under our radar. I'm pretty sure we did a good job. I think that we covered everything.
It's a good video for sure.
But if we missed anything, let us know. Thanks everybody for watching all the way to the end, and until next time, catch you later.
So there you guys have it, folks. I definitely want to get my thoughts on this. So, as I predicted, Swagkage and 6 illustrated these arms race transitions, if you will, between Naruto and Sasuke, right? The rivalry sort of dichotomy that they have with each other, and how the narrative has these transitions take place, right? So essentially, what happens from part 1 to Shippuden is substantial, right? Sasuke jumps several calibers in power in comparison to Naruto, right? In part 1, it was like this for a while. Once you get to Shippuden, you get to the very beginning, boom, it goes like this. Sasuke is just way superior to Naruto. And without Nine-Tail intervention, Naruto has no hope of defeating someone of Sasuke's caliber, right? And it stays that way for a long time. And then Sasuke gets Orochimaru's abilities, right? He even gets more powerful. And that doesn't really change. The difference in caliber doesn't really change until Naruto gets Sage Mode and he starts to surpass Sannin levels, right? That's where he finally takes the superior position in this power scaling arms race between Naruto and Sasuke. That just happens to be the case. For the majority of the narrative, Sasuke is the superior. That's just the way it is. Sasuke is the prodigy. Sasuke serves as Naruto's obstacle for the majority of the narrative. He's chasing that shadow, right? He's chasing his shadow. He's chasing that guy, right? And that's why Naruto has to be the inferior. For the narrative to make sense, for the thematic aspects to appear to us, Naruto has to be chasing someone. At the beginning of part 1 of Naruto's already chasing Sasuke. He's chasing him. He wants his respect. He wants to be his equal. And of course, on top of that, he wants respect from Konoha in general. Right? He's always chasing a goal. Sasuke is the goal. Hence, he has to be the superior for the majority of the narrative. Once Naruto has an epiphany and an evolution, so to speak, with KCM, that's when things start to change. Naruto starts to reach that rare air where, hey, he did reach his goals, right? So at a certain point, he surpasses Sasuke, right? Especially blatantly at the end of the war where he defeats him in battle. Then, as Swag and 6 pointed out, in the last, Sasuke stated to be the strongest by Kakashi. But then we get to the Boruto era later on, right? Specifically the manga, and it seems that Naruto and Sasuke are now just damn near equivalent. If I had to give my prediction on who would win in battle, and it's not in character and they're simply trying to kill each other, I'd probably go with Naruto. Sasuke has less durability, has less chakra, etc. Right? I think speed and things of that nature are very, very relative. But however, I think Naruto's durability and his ungodly amounts of chakra would be the difference. Sasuke's best win condition would be to send Naruto away, right? To send him to another dimension. Then he'll die there from starvation or whatever the case may be, right? But in a one-on-one altercation, I think Naruto would most likely get the W. I think he has the arsenal for it. He has the durability for it. And if anything, if they are equivalent in power, it would come down to a battle of attrition, which I think Naruto would win. He has the ridiculous amounts of chakra that Kurama provides him. While conversely, Sasuke, after 2 teleportations to different dimensions, is gassed. Right? That's the difference. But however, they are extremely equivalent. And if we are talking about in character, it's any man's game at that point. It's any man's win. So it's a very, very close fight. I think Kishimoto wants it that way. Because why? It's no longer about Naruto and Sasuke. It's about Boruto and Kawaki specifically, right? So he has to end that dichotomy between those guys. That's no longer the focus, right? Despite us revering Naruto and Sasuke so heavily, they're no longer the focus in the narrative. Especially now in current Boruto. Naruto sealed, and Sasuke is going to have to train Boruto. And Boruto is the priority now. Kawaki's the priority now. That's the priority, not Naruto and Sasuke, right? So the passing of the torch has taken place. It took place a while ago, in my opinion, after the death of Kurama and the Rinnegan removal of Sasuke. I think that was the passing of the torch. You know, the generational transition, if you will, right? Where shinobi have to be competent and capable enough to overcome any such said catastrophe, right? And that's what Naruto and Sasuke were in the previous generation, right? There was a generational transition from, you know, Hiruzen and Minato to Naruto and Sasuke, right? The strongest on Earth. The generational transition of the strongest on Earth. Who will be the heroes of today's time, right? And in the previous generation, it was Naruto and Sasuke. They protected the Earth from the Otsutsuki, etc. Now, that torch is being passed down to Boruto, right? Obviously, there's the plot twist and all that, but the point is, he is the next in line. He is the next one up. He's the one that has to show up and perform, right? So Sasuke was kind of serve as that mentor, I'm sure, right? With the plot twist and him going rogue with Boruto, which was very well done narratively speaking. So Naruto and Sasuke had a very, very interesting dichotomy, and it was very, very well illustrated by Swagkage in this video. But yeah, folks, that's my thoughts on the video. Of course, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about their dichotomy? What do you think about Five Kage Summon Sasuke versus Naruto? Do you disagree with me and think Naruto would win? Or do you agree with me and think Sasuke would win? You guys let me know. And of course, any thoughts in general that you may have, let me know in the comment section below. But it's going to wrap it up, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Jay the Great signing out. Peace.